Hello everyone, welcome back to Full Grown Gaming's penultimate episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I think there's only going to be one more after this, but in this episode we're actually inside Ganon's castle, almost called it Ganon's Tower, and I'm not entirely sure which part, and there's that phrase again, yes, which part of the tower is actually referred to as Ganon's Tower, because I've seen that like in the text in the game before. I'm guessing it's that middle part of the, the castle here is Ganon's Tower, because that actually is more of like a cylindrical thing you actually have to climb, rather than just like a castle. But to get in there, you can see that there is a barrier surrounding it, and to, deactivate the barrier, we have to go into each of these little, sectors, I guess, that are dedicated to the temples that we fought throughout the game. The first one we want to go in is not the Forest Temple as you might believe, but is actually the Shadow Temple one, because there is actually one thing that we can get in here. I hope that green thing doesn't get me. But the last, I know I said that the light arrows were the last items that we can get in the game, but I'm not really sure if that's, I guess it's semantics, but there is one more thing that we can get. It's kind of like an item, but it's not a thing we can actually equip. Now, you can actually, not equip, but you can actually shoot the likes and zoom over like that, which makes this room pretty much entirely possible to beat. Not any way, not even close to the way I think they wanted you to beat it. That was really close right there. Now, where I am standing right now, there's going to be a treasure chest appearing right here. But to get that, you actually have to hit that switch down there, which is not that easy, to me. Every time I try and do it, it doesn't work. I'm not sure why. What you're supposed to do, I think what you're actually supposed to do to defeat this room or whatever is shoot. There's like a torch around here somewhere, or maybe I think it's actually that switch right there. To get to this point, we're supposed to use that torch. But to get to that switch down there, I believe you're supposed to hit that rusted switch right there. But that's not really necessary. We're going to try and roll, and we made it. Now, the switch over there, not the one I'm on right now, is actually a rusted switch, which means that we have to use the Megaton Hammer. One thing that I do like about Ganon's castle, this area we're in right now, is that it actually, requires the use of more than just whatever item we find in whatever temple we're in, meaning that all of the items that we've collected so far we're pretty much going to have to use. Speaking of items, here is actually the Golden Gauntlets, which I believe are actually in the Spirit Temple in the Master Quest I've read. So I'm not sure if that's true or not because I've never played the Master Quest, but if anybody has, I'm sure you can tell me. Now, before I continue in here, there's actually one thing I want to do outside of the castle, so I'll meet you guys out there. Alright, here we are outside of Ganon's castle again. Now, you might be wondering why we're out here already. We just, went into Ganon's castle. After we got the Golden Gauntlets, this place over here, is now available for us to go in. I'm not sure even what you can call whatever this is over here leaning against the wall. I think I've read it, referenced as an obelisk or something like that. But what Link is now able to do is actually lift them and throw them. I'm not sure how many of these there are in the game even. I think they're only in Ganon's castle and right here. But now, for whatever reason, the Golden Gauntlets allows him to lift that. Behind here is probably the most important upgrade that a fairy can give you. Now let me go ahead and, classic last time play Zelda's Lullaby. Welcome, Kyle. I am the Great Fairy of Courage. Just so happens to match my piece of the Triforce, by the way. I'm going to enhance your defensive power. Receive it now. I like how they pretty much all of them that we've met have said receive it now, as if it's something that we can actively do. We're not receiving it, she's giving it to us. There is a difference, alright? Anyway, what it does is actually increase our health. Obviously, we have 20 hearts, but each heart now is like a double heart, if you will. And that kind of is signified by the fact that there's a white outline around it, I guess. And it is kind of like it says our defense power has been enhanced. It's reduced by half. That's what I was just about to say. It's not just enhanced, it's double, actually. But in Banjo-Kazooie, I don't remember if it's in Banjo-Tooie or not. In Banjo-Kazooie at the end of the game, and I've actually done a Let's Play of that, so if you, watch that, you would know. But at the end of the game, you can actually turn your honeycombs red, which does the exact same thing as, the enhanced hearts here. But, I guess that's just kind of a cool thing. That kind of makes the game a little bit easy. The final boss is going to be extremely easy now, because we have all of the hearts that are now double. So I'm going to meet you guys back in the Shadow Temple portion of Ganon's castle, because I think this is going to be a very long episode, and I want to get as much done as quickly as possible. Alright, here we are back in the Shadow Temple area of the castle. What I'm going to do is just use my classic way of getting over there, because it's not really worth it to waste magic, you know, lighting these torches, because I don't think there's any way to light the torches without actually using magic in this area. But another thing that is important to know is that if you actually lock on to a like like that, I just said like about 50 times there, but if you do latch onto a like with your hook shot, you can't hit it with your sword. So that is a very important thing to know, because if you try and destroy it while it's stunned like that, for some reason your sword just bounces off. Here we actually need to use the Lens of Truth. You probably wouldn't believe it. I mean, how else would you know to use the Lens of Truth here other than just, I guess, random trial and error? But we actually, if you guys remember back in the Fire Temple, we had to use the Megaton Hammer to hit rusted switches, which I think I might have mentioned earlier in this episode as well. And I don't even think that I needed... Oh, that's what that does. Let me check the Lens of Truth again. Wow, I guess, I'm not sure how you were supposed to get down there. I guess lighting that torch over there does make the... There's more blocks that appear there that allow you to get to that switch a little bit easier, but I'm not sure, you know, exactly. What I was going to say is I could have just latched onto this torch right here, and now that I mention it, I think maybe that torch right there is actually what allows us to get to that switch. Like I said, yeah, I'm not even sure if I mentioned this. This part of the game I have not done in literally probably 10 years, so... But it is very easy, like, it's not really hard to get through here. At the end of each of the sectors of the castle, you know, corresponding to the different temples or whatever, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but there's one at the very end of each of them, and you have to shoot it with the light arrows. The shadow barrier is dispelled. Please save the princess. And luckily, whatever that is, whatever, you know, magical force just happened there, that actually allows us to, you know, we don't have to walk all the way back to the entrance or whatever. I want to go ahead and show you guys a glitch that I know about for this area, which is actually sort of a, not a game-breaking glitch, but it does make it a whole lot easier. And I'm not sure exactly, let me go ahead and throw this obelisk, by the way. It's not in here, but I just want to get this part out of the way. And by the way, I think it's kind of funny how Link cracks his knuckles before, you know, he actually tries to pick these up. But there's a glitch here that you can do to literally skip every single one of the Ganon's trials, which is what this is called in this area. You know, the trials in Ganon's castle or whatever. I'm not sure if you could... It is kind of cheating, I guess, but it is pretty cool. So if I can get it to work, I'm probably going to use it, but I will come back out and actually do the trials the right way afterwards. And just like that, guys, we are in the black abyss of Ganon's castle, and my HDR just failed. Awesome. I guess I could tell what we're doing right now is not exactly what we were supposed to be doing. But when you do this, the door to Ganon's castle, or the barrier, has not exactly, I guess, loaded. And I'm not sure exactly, like, the path you're supposed to walk to get there. If this is right, I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm not even moving, am I? Let me go ahead and try and find this real quick. And look at that, is that not just the coolest thing you guys have ever seen? Like, you don't have to do any of Ganon's castle. Now, unfortunately, despite all of that hard work, fumbling around in the darkness, I'm actually going to go back out and do the trials the way they were meant to be done. And I was going to say, I'm not sure if the barrier will still be there or not, even, you know, after we've, you know, glitched it like that. But what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do it the legitimate way, even though, like, throughout the game I've shown glitches and stuff like that. Personally, I don't think glitches are a bad thing, especially in old games like this where people may or may not have seen them. But I can't understand why people, you know, would want to see the game done like the legitimate way. I forgot, we're going to be going into the Fire Temple area here. Obviously, in the Fire Temple area, we're going to be needing our Goron tunic. The fire in this area is actually a lot different than the fire in the Fire Temple, because if you fall in this fire, you actually have to start all the way over the beginning of the level, or not the level, but the beginning of the, you know, the fire area here. Let me go ahead in classic full-grown gaming Ocarina of Time style, collect all of the silver rupees in a speed-up manner. And that is the 5th, I believe, silver rupee. Now, if you get all of the silver rupees, and just like that, that's what I wanted to show you. If you die or fall in the lava after you get the 5th rupee, it's not a big deal because the door will still be open. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, like when I do speed-ups, I like to do speed-ups a lot because or not a whole lot, just, you know, when I feel it's necessary, because it cuts down on all the BS that you have to, you know, sit through. But one thing I forgot to mention is that when you throw that obelisk right there, it lands over there and makes it a little bit easier to get to the silver rupee that's on that platform. But let me go ahead and hook shot across here. And I know it's the long shot, but I keep calling it the hook shot. And if you guys remember, Darunia, my sworn brother, who I haven't heard from in a long, long time, is supposed to be the, you know, Sage of Fire. So let's go ahead and see if he has anything to say. The fire barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, brother. Apparently, every one of them has a canned response to what you know, basically what they all say the same exact thing, except their last little bit of dialogue, you know, differentiates it. I wish, this is pretty much the last time, we're gonna see them again, but I don't think we're ever gonna see them again on a one-on-one basis like we are in here. So I think it would have been kind of cool if we got like an inspirational, you know, motivational talk or something from each of our, you know, sages, but that didn't happen. But at least let Rudo, please. Rudo, as you guys know, is the Sage of Water. I hope she has something inspirational to say. There are a lot of keys, and there's something invisible right here. I'm actually not even sure what it was. Whatever it was dead now. Let me go ahead and use Din's Fire to take care of all of the things here. Actually, that might not have been a good idea. I think they're going to turn into fire keys. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I want to use my arrows. You know what? Forget it. Oh, I can't. I was going to say, let me just go ahead and use my fire arrows on these guys, and I'll take care of them pretty quickly. But I can't do that because I have the Lens of Truth out. And I wouldn't have the Lens of Truth out if I didn't need them to see these invisible keys. Now, I believe once we kill all of the keys, a key will appear in the middle. This whole game is full of tongue twisters, it seems like. There we go. I was going to say, did I not kill one because the chest didn't appear right away? The chests that are around the circle area here are not even really a circle. I'm not sure what shape that is off the top of my head. It looks like a hexagon, I guess. But 2 of them, I believe. I'm not sure which ones, because it's not worth it to even try to look for them. 2 of them are the ice chests or whatever. When you open them, they hurt you. So not really worth it because one, actually, I think one has a heart in it and one has some arrows in it. So not, like I said, not worth trying to get the, you know, those items if you're going to lose more health trying to get them than you would from the actual items, you know, giving you health back. Here, I think, I hate to make guarantees like this, but I think this actually might be one of the final times, and I'm playing it safe here, saying it's one of the final times instead of the final time, that we're going to be playing Zelda's Lullaby to, you know, get something in this game. Kind of bittersweet, but, you know, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. Here is more silver rupees that I need to get, so I will see you guys in a second. And there we go. It seems like every... Wow, I still only have 15 seconds? That's hard to believe. I thought it would actually give me a little leeway after I collected the last one. But every episode I've done for the Let's Play, whatever it is, for the past 2 months has been, like, full of collecting. I didn't realize that. Oh my... Alright, made it back to this room. Really wasn't aware there were going to be wall masters in here, and I was going to calmly explain that there is a fake wall there, but apparently they don't give you time for that. Now, obviously here we're going to be meeting, I believe, this is actually the Temple of Light, but we didn't really go in the Temple of Light, so it's not like, you know, really something we really had to worry about throughout the course of the game, but I believe we're going to be talking to Rauru here. The light barrier is dispelled. Hurry? Is that really all you have to say to me? I will probably never talk to you again. And that is all you have to say. I know I ripped on the motivational speech thing a little bit already, but I feel like they could have had a little bit more personal thing to say. All they're saying is the blank barrier is dispelled, hurry, every time. Not really motivational, not really helping. Now, how many is that? I think I have the Forest Temple left and the Water Temple one left. I don't know if there's a specific order you have to do these in. I think that you might want to go ahead and get the Golden Gauntlets at the beginning whenever you try to do this place, because I'm not sure if any of them require you to have that already collected. Now, let me go ahead and use Din's Fire here to, you know, light all these torches. There we go. Lit all of them. I had to bust out the fire arrows to get that final one. You know, now that I think about it, how would you do this if you didn't have the fire arrows? I guess you would have to stand like right here, or maybe try and use Din's Fire twice or something like that. I think I've obviously people have beat the game without, you know, the fire arrows, but I've never done that, so I'm not sure exactly how that would work. Classic full-grown style. Let's go ahead and speed up the silver rupee collecting. There we go, guys. Died entirely too many times there. Don't remember collecting these being that hard, but apparently in my old age, I'm losing a little bit of my motor skills because, like I said, back in the day, don't remember that being too hard. Who was the sage? Oh, how could I forget? The sage of the Forest Temple was Sarias. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say. Hopefully it's a little more than hurry, because she was almost like a love interest for a little while. I have nothing to say to you, Saria. That is just... You know what? I'm feeling a little unloved. You know? Everybody's just telling me to hurry up. Nobody can... You know, no one said good job. You know, no one has said anything helpful other than hurry. I feel like a little pressured, honestly. Hopefully, the Water Temple is our last hope, I believe, unless I've just lost track of however many I've completed. Where is the water? There it is. You know... Oh, I was gonna say, how do I even get up there? But apparently it's down here. The Water Temple area is not really like the Water Temple at all. It's actually more like the fire. I mean, the fire, that's completely opposite, actually. It's more like the... I can't even talk. Feist and ire, I keep... Oh, did I just say it? Alright, guys, I had a little bit of a... Even though we're in the ice cavern, I guess you could call it a meltdown, because I apparently can't say... Let me try and get this straight. Fire and ice. Like, I was just about to say it again. I had to think very carefully before I said it. But let's go ahead and get a little bit of blue fire here. I'm not sure exactly how much we're going to need, but we don't have anything else in these bottles, so we might as well. Before the final fight with Ganon, I might go stock up on blue potions, which if I never showed you guys where those were, those are actually in the potion shop where we took the odd mushroom way back when. I don't even remember what episode that was such a long time ago. And I just noticed, like, it's slowing down a little bit when I did that fire right there. I guess that shows how maybe the Nintendo 64 couldn't handle its own, you know, rendering, I guess, that it had to do. It kind of reminds me of Knights of the Round in Final Fantasy VII, how it would actually slow down the game. But let me go ahead and take care of this puzzle real quick. Alright, now we've taken care of the meat and potatoes. I said meat, really hillbilly right there. But meat and potatoes of the actual puzzle here. What would there possibly be here other than a rusted switch? I'm not even sure, like... This is gonna be ridiculous, but would rust happen in such a frigid place like this? It must have been here a long, long time. I would think more than 7 years for that to happen. Anyway, let's go ahead, our final bastion of hope. Please, Princess Rudo, have something nice to say to us other than hurry up, and please appreciate our efforts. The barrier is gone, guys, but, you know, I think a little piece of my heart died with it, because none of these... Wow, apparently the barrier's not gone. I forgot to take out the... What is that, the spirit over there? Yeah, how did I forget that? What I was gonna say was, apparently, that nobody even cares, you know, that I'm saving the world for them, because, all, like I keep saying, all they have to say is hurry up. Let me go ahead and speed up the classic, you know, Silver Rupee collection. And there we go, open the door. Now, I believe through that door right there, there is actually going to be another bomb chew puzzle. And, yep, this is exactly the room I was thinking of. So there are two places in the game that I can think of that I think you have to use the bomb chews here. You would think, it looks like you could just shoot, you know, an arrow through there. Let me see if you even can. No, you can't. Even though the arrow clearly is small enough to go through there, it doesn't work like that. What hitting that switch right there does is actually make bomb chews appear here, which you actually have to use to do the puzzle. So it's a kind of a good thing that they have that there, just in case if you didn't have any bomb chews or something like that. But I think if you were smart enough to try and shoot the arrows through there, I think they should have given it to you, or at least made it a little bit harder to where you couldn't do that. Now that better hit. Oh my... There we go. I was gonna say, this is Bomb Chew Bowling all over again, and if you guys saw that, I think that was like episode 12 or something like that. That was just a pain all over the place. Now, I'm not sure... Oh, yeah, now I know what I gotta do. I was gonna say, I don't even remember this room at all. I thought the room with the thing we have to shoot the light arrows was actually directly after the room with the bomb chews. But we have to shoot this little spider web, I guess, with light... Or, no, not light arrows, fire arrows, and it will make light pour down from the ceiling. Let me go ahead and put away my big Goron sword, and one of these actually drops a key, or it drops something to where we can actually get through the door. The wrong one, however, drops a wall master on us. Luckily, our big Goron sword allows us to take it, you know, take them out in one hit. Now, I think, don't hold me to it, but I think this is actually the one we need right here. There we go. I like that jingle that lets you know you've done everything right. I guess it makes me forget a little bit about the fact that I'm not wanted by my friends and family. You know, Rudo, Zelda... Actually, Zelda is the only one that's shown even a little bit of compassion. Rudo didn't say anything. Saria didn't say anything. Naburu's probably not going to say anything. Let's see if she does have anything to say. The spirit barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, kid. That is probably... That just sums it all up right there, I guess. I can't believe, even Naburu, we helped her out of the spirit temple, going through time, got the silver gauntlets for her, took care of Twin Rova, and she still has the nerve to call us kid. Whatever, guys. But in the next episode, I'm not sure... You know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna go whole hog here. I'm gonna go all the way up Ganon's tower and actually stop directly before the fight. And I thought this scene right here was actually pretty scary as a kid because everything turns like black and white almost. And then you can see what looks almost like a Bowser head sticking out of the wall there. And what is that? Oh, I guess that's like a graphical glitch or something like that. But that thing over there is black. I thought that was like a... I hate to say this, but it looks like Slender Man all over there almost. Maybe I'm just watching too many videos or something like that. Here we actually have Ganon's tower, I believe. I was going to say, I'm not sure if the text is going to pop up on the screen or not that tells us what this area is, but apparently not. I'm not sure, by the way, if taking care of those keys right there actually does anything, but what I do know is I'm going to speed up this fight right here, because if everything goes how it has been in this episode so far, it's going to take a long time. Well, apparently that went without a flaw, actually. I believe... No, actually, that is after we defeat... I'm not even going to go into that, because that was almost a whole lot of spoilers right there. But to pretty much get up the castle, or the tower here, it's not really that hard. It's just more trials, I guess. But the fact is, this part is actually a little bit more linear, and it makes it really easy. Now, I wish there was a torch slug here so we could do that trick that we did in the Spirit Temple. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Speed up time. If you guys are trying to get into recording the Wii, I don't think I could even suggest the HD PVR, because that happens all the time. Luckily, defeating those 2 Stalfos gives us a boss key. Not sure if a boss key is really useful. I mean, obviously we have to get it to beat the game, but I think it's kind of awkward how that thing is here, because there's not, like, anywhere else we could go, really. I mean, it is the final boss. I'm not sure if, you know, the boss key was really necessary to put here. Now, if this is the room I'm thinking of, no, it is not. But here are 2 iron knuckles that I need to take care of. And look how easy that was, guys. Especially, apparently the light arrows don't actually do anything to them, which is kind of unfortunate because you would think such a powerful item, you know, something that can take down Ganon, would be able to defeat an iron knuckle, but apparently not. But the big Goron sword actually did make pretty quick work of them. Here we have the boss door. Is Ganon going to be behind this door? Let's go ahead and see. No, he is not. But actually, it's kind of funny, because up there is Ganon. You know, somewhere up there, actually Ganondorf. If you guys don't know the difference, actually, between Ganondorf and Ganon, Ganondorf, let me try and make sure I get this right myself. Ganondorf is actually the human, or Gerudo, and Ganon is actually the enemy, or like the behemoth, almost, that he becomes. Now, listen to the music in this area, guys. I always thought that music was kind of cool. Maybe that's just me. But actually, through that door right there is going to be our final confrontation, which we are going to be taking on in the next episode. Hopefully, in the next episode, I will have had my coffee and be a little bit more prepared emotionally, because that little, you know, spat I had with my friends here, you know, that wasn't taken too lightly, because we helped them through thick and thin throughout the game, and they couldn't even give us a word of encouragement. But I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I want to see you guys back for the final episode of this Let's Play.